Hello, good morning one and all. Today our topic in ground improvement techniques is identification of soil types. So previous classes what we understand, what is the need of ground improvement and what are the various objects involved, and ground modification, importance of introduction about the ground modification. So for this we are carrying to the next topic, that is identification of soil types. So the identification of soil types depends upon the various parameters. So introduction to ground modification already we completed. What are the various alter solutions for difficult foundation conditions also, till this we completed last class. Now coming to the identification of soil type, it depends upon the various properties. Based on the various physical and chemical properties, we are understanding which type it is. We have different types of fine soils, silt soils, like that, based on the size, based on the color, based on the soil structure, texture. So like that we are going to understand, identify which type of soil it is. So based on that we are going to give the modification to those according to the requirement and according to the properties which we know from the identification of the soil type. We are forwarded for the physical infrastructure for the structure. So in that, identification of soil type plays a major crucial role. So in this, the first one is color. Color plays, we may identify based on the color which type of soil it is. Not only that single parameter, we are not going to identify any type of soil. So based on the single parameter, it is not at all suggested for identifying and concluded for the soil type. Which type of soil type, which type of soil it is, we are not concluded based on the one parameter. So for that, based on these different types of, based on the soil structure, pH value, soil texture, organic matter content, and assessing soil type. So these are the important properties which we are considering for identify the soil. So in this, coming to the soil texture, in this different proportions of sand, silt, clay particles. So can be determined by rubbing moist soil between fingers to feel gritness. So from physically, not going to any laboratory test, any in situ test. So we may understand, we may bring some portion of that soil and that we bring and we rubbing between the soil into the fingers and to feel grittiness. Such type of soil may belongs to sand, and when it comes to smoothness, it is in smooth. There is no grittiness, there is no stickiness. Smoothly it is going to move in between our fingers. Such type smoothness, it may consider silt, or stickiness. It is going to stick and little moist and it is sticky. Such type of soil may comes under clay. So soil texture, whether it may belongs to sand, silt, clay particles. So soil structure classes: sandy, loamy, and clayey soil. So according to the soil structure, the classifications will happen: sandy soil, or loamy soil, and clayey soils. Coming to the color, based on the color, observe soil color which can range from red to yellow, brown, black, and grey. Various colors, and the combination of various colors we may observe that range, that it gives the some sort of organic matter content. How? So coming to the red iron oxides, so from red to yellow, such type of color indicates that soil contains iron oxides. Darker colors indicate higher organic matter content. So such type of identification we may understand once we observe the soil color. So this soil structure, so examine the soil aggregates and how soil breaks apart. So common structures including granular, blocky, prismatic and platy. So like this, so we may examine soil aggregates and how the soil breaks apart. So in this, based on these observation, we are going to classify these soils in granular soil, blocky, prismatic and platy. So now moving to the pH value. So based on the pH value, we are using the pH meter. So measure soil pH using the pH meter. The pH below 7 indicates acidity, above 7 indicates alkalinity and 7 is neutral. So like this, we are going to understand the soil type. Now, organic matter content. The slide explores soil organic matter which contributes to soil fertility and structure. It explains the importance of organic matter, describes how it affects the soil properties and may include visuals showing differences in soil color and texture based on the organic matter content in that particular soil. So in this, based on all these summaries, key characteristics, we understanding the which type of soil, and it encourages use multiple indicators for accurate assessment and may include tips or guidelines for assessing of the soil type. So for multiple indicators for getting the accurate understanding about the soil type gives the better identification and gives the accuracy which type of soil it is. We are confidently say using various parameters, the including of number of parameters for understanding the which soil types gives the better result, better assessing for the identification of the soil type. So in this, so soil types can be identified based on the various characteristics already previously we understood: color, texture, pH value, organic matter content and mineral composition. So some of the soil types we may understand like this. Clay soil. So coming to the clay soil texture, so these are all the parameters. So the first one, fine particles. Fine particles feel sticky when wet, forms hard clumps when dry. So such type of these kind of properties we may observe in texture point of view, texture of the soil point of view, that may belongs to clay. Next again we have to go to color. So in this can vary, often dark when moist, lighter when dry. So in this color, when we are identifying whether the soil belongs to clay or not, so that color, whenever it is in wet, moist condition, the color in dark side. So whenever it is going to dry, that is in lighter side. So that comes under clay soil. Coming to the other parameter which we are considering, that is structure. When it is dense and compacted, that belongs to clay soil. Coming to the water retention, high water retention capacity. Clay soils have high water retention capacity. pH can vary, typically neutral to slightly alkaline. So like this we are going to understand the clay soil. The next one is sandy soil. Coming to the sandy soil, the texture of the sandy soil, coarse particles feels gritty. Coming to the color, light colored, often pale yellow or grey. This structure is loose and granular. Similarly, water retention, low water retention capacity, drains quickly. So pH often acidic. So such types of parameters comes under sandy soil. The next one is silt soil. Coming to the structure, intermediate particle size between clay and sand, feels smooth, color usually dark when moist. Coming to the structure, smooth and powdery when dry, can form clumps when wet, but not as sticky as clay. These comes It is smooth and powdery when dry, clumps when wet, but not as sticky as clay. So coming to the water retention, moderate water retention capacity, pH neutral to slightly alkaline. Such type of parameters properties we will get. That identification of soil type is silt soil. Next one is loamy soil. In this structure, balanced mixture of sand, silt and clay particles. Coming to the color, dark fertile appearance. Coming to the structure of the loamy soil, it's crumbly, variable, good tilt. Coming to the retention parameter, this moderate retains moisture well but also drains excess water. So in pH, neutral and ideal for most plants. For plantation is suitable for this kind of loamy soils. Coming to the chalky soil, structure often contains large particles of calcium carbonate or limestone. So organic matter. Color pale, may have white flecks or streaks. Coming to the structure may be clumpy or hard depending on the content of calcium carbonate. Coming to the water retention can vary, tends to be free, draining, pH alkaline. So these are the general characteristics which we are going to understand in soil properties widely within given the various parameters, and it depends upon the environmental conditions like climate and human activities, location where it is placed. All these are going to professionally these are all the some of these parameters we may understand just for seeing and just for feel with touch, and some may understand with some laboratory test and some process we are going to understand, and that gives the better soil identification. In next class, we will see what are the various tests involved in this. So this is the identification of soils, what are the various parameters are including, and what are the various condition we are understanding for identification of soil. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.